The Rio de Janeiro waterfront, a bustling place, full of life and noise, but hidden beneath the surface, a secret sleeps. This is the story of Valongo Wharf. Once, it was the busiest wharf in the Americas. Not for goods, but for souls. For over 50 years, it was the arrival point for hundreds of thousands of enslaved Africans. Brought to Brazil against their will, they were forced into a life of hardship and servitude. The year is 1811. This is the scene that greets us as we step back in time to Valongo Wharf. The story of Valongo is not just a story of suffering. It's a story of survival, of resistance, of the enduring strength of the human spirit. The wharf fell silent in 1831. The slave trade, though not slavery itself, was officially abolished in Brazil. Valongo was buried, paved over, and forgotten. In the 19th century, during renovations for Rio's urban development, whispers of Valongo began to resurface. Archaeologists uncovered the stone steps leading down to the water, the very steps that countless enslaved Africans walked upon. The discovery sent shockwaves through Brazil. Valongo Wharf became a symbol, a reminder of a past that cannot be erased. Imagine stepping onto the bustling wharf. The year is 1820. The sun beats down mercilessly. The air is thick with the smell of salt, sweat, and fear. You are surrounded by a sea of humanity. Men, women, and children all shackled together. These are the people of the transatlantic slave trade. Torn from their homes in Africa, they have endured a harrowing journey across the ocean. Many have died along the way, victims of disease, starvation, or despair. Those who survived face an uncertain future in a strange and often hostile land. Enslaved Africans are crammed below deck, often chained together with little room to move or breathe. Valongo Wharf is a place of both arrival and erasure. For the enslaved Africans who arrive here, it is a point of transition from one world to another. It is the last stop on a journey of unimaginable hardship. It is also the first step into a life of forced labor and oppression. Upon disembarking, the enslaved are herded like cattle into a large warehouse. Here, they are inspected, washed, and prepared for sale. Those deemed unfit for work, the sick, the elderly, the very young, are often discarded without a second thought. Families are torn apart, their ties severed with a callous indifference. The stones of Valongo Wharf bear silent witness to this human tragedy. They whisper tales of unimaginable suffering and resilience. But Valongo Wharf is more than just a site of suffering. It is also a place of resistance, of cultural survival, and of the enduring legacy of Africa in Brazil. Despite the horrors they endure, the enslaved Africans who arrive at Valongo bring with them their cultures, their traditions, and their beliefs. These elements of their identity, though suppressed, are not extinguished. They are kept alive in secret gatherings, in whispered songs, and in the rhythmic beating of drums. Over time, these African influences fuse with indigenous and European traditions, giving rise to the vibrant and diverse culture that defines Brazil today. From music and dance to food and religion, the legacy of Africa is woven into the very fabric of Brazilian society. Valongo Wharf stands as a powerful symbol of this complex and often contradictory history. It is a testament to the strength, resilience, and cultural vibrancy of the African diaspora. The year is 2011. Rio de Janeiro is preparing to celebrate its history. The city is set to host the 2016 Olympics. Construction projects boom across the city. But one project uncovers more than just dirt and stone. It unearths a ghost. Deep beneath layers of earth and pavement, archaeologists stumble upon a secret. Stone steps, worn smooth by countless footsteps, emerge from the ground. This is no ordinary construction site. This is Valongo Wharf, resurrected from the grave of history. The discovery sends ripples of shock and awe through Brazil. The archaeologists, armed with brushes and trowels, become storytellers. As the excavation progresses, the ground yields more than just stones and structures. It whispers secrets, long forgotten. Fragments of everyday life, frozen in time, emerge from the earth. These are the objects that tell the real story of Valongo, the story of the people who walked these stones. Thousands of artifacts see the light of day after centuries of darkness. Pieces of ceramic bowls, remnants of meals shared and cultures preserved. Glass beads, once strung together as adornments, now speak of a desire for beauty even in the face of unimaginable hardship. Iron shackles, chilling reminders of the brutal reality of enslavement, tell a tale of captivity and the fight for freedom. These artifacts are not just objects. They are tangible connections to the past, imbued with the stories, the hopes, and the dreams of those who once held them. One of the most striking discoveries at Valongo is the sheer quantity of religious objects. Amulets, charms, and figurines, representing a fusion of African beliefs and Catholic iconography, paint a vivid picture of spiritual resistance and cultural adaptation. These objects tell the story of a people determined to hold on to their spiritual identity in a new and often hostile land. They are testaments to the power of faith to provide solace and hope in the face of adversity. They also highlight the process of cultural blending that shaped Brazil's unique religious landscape. These objects serve as a poignant reminder that the history of Valongo is not just a story of suffering and loss, but also a story of survival, adaptation, and the enduring power of the human spirit. The excavation of Valongo Wharf is not just about uncovering the past, it is about understanding the present. The site serves as a powerful reminder of the lasting legacy of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade, not just in Brazil, but across the globe. The stones of Valongo speak to the millions of Africans who were forcibly removed from their homelands and subjected to the horrors of chattel slavery. They remind us of the brutal system that fueled the growth of empires and enriched some at the expense of countless others. They also force us to confront the uncomfortable truth that the legacy of this system continues to shape our world today. But Valongo is more than just a site of suffering. It is also a place of resilience, of cultural survival, and of the enduring contributions of the African diaspora. Valongo's story doesn't end with its rediscovery. This isn't just archaeology, it's living history. Descendants of those who passed through Valongo walk the streets of Rio today. Their stories, passed down through generations, breathe life back into the silent stones. Donna Maria, her eyes filled with tears, touches the cool stone of the wharf. Her grandmother's stories come alive. Tales of a perilous journey, of families torn asunder, of a spirit unbroken. For many Afro-Brazilians, Valongo is a sacred space. It's a place to connect with their ancestors, to honor their struggles, and to celebrate their resilience. The rediscovery of Valongo has sparked a cultural awakening in Brazil. The unearthing of Valongo Wharf wasn't just about uncovering stones and artifacts. It was about unearthing a buried past, a past that many had tried to forget. The sheer scale of the site, a stark reminder of the millions of Africans brought to Brazil against their will, forced a national conversation. Brazil, for centuries, had prided itself on its image as a racial democracy, a melting pot of cultures where everyone lived in harmony. But Valongo shattered this illusion. It laid bare the deep scars of slavery, the inequalities that still persisted, and the need for truth and reconciliation. The discovery ignited a debate, sometimes uncomfortable, about race, identity, and the legacy of slavery in Brazil. It challenged long-held beliefs and forced people to confront the uncomfortable realities of their nation's past. Valongo's legacy is complex, a tapestry woven from threads of pain, resilience, and ultimately, pride. It stands as a monument to the millions who were enslaved, a testament to their suffering, but also their indomitable spirit. The site serves as a constant reminder of the horrors of slavery, the barbarity of a system that treated human beings as mere commodities. It compels us to remember, to learn from the past, and to fight against all forms of oppression. But Valongo is more than just a symbol of suffering. It's also a celebration of African heritage, a testament to the enduring legacy of African culture in Brazil. Valongo, in its silence, speaks volumes. Today, Valongo Wharf is more than just an archaeological site. It's a place of pilgrimage, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a symbol of hope for a more just future. People from all walks of life visit the site, paying their respects, reflecting on the past, and contemplating the future. The site serves as a reminder that the fight for justice and equality is far from over. The legacy of slavery continues to cast a long shadow over Brazilian society, manifesting in racial disparities in education, healthcare, and economic opportunity. Valongo is a call to action, a reminder that we must never forget the past and that we must continue to strive for a more just and equitable world for all. It's a place where the past and the present converge, a space for dialogue, reflection, and a commitment to creating a better future. Valongo Wharf, in its silence, speaks volumes. The sun dips low over Rio de Janeiro, casting long shadows over Valongo Wharf. The city's vibrant energy seems to fade, replaced by a palpable stillness. It's as if the very stones are whispering, their voices carrying across centuries, sharing their stories with those who listen. The story of Valongo is not just a Brazilian story, it's a global one. It speaks to the interconnectedness of humanity, the enduring legacy of the transatlantic slave trade, and the ongoing struggle for racial justice and equality. The rediscovery and preservation of Valongo serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of facing our past, even its darkest chapters, in order to build a better future. The task of preserving Valongo Wharf, of ensuring that its stories continue to be told, is a collective responsibility. It falls not just on archaeologists and historians, but on all of us. Through continued research, education, and community engagement, we can keep the memory of Valongo alive, ensuring that future generations understand its significance and learn from its lessons. The stories of those who were enslaved, so often silenced and marginalized, must be heard and remembered. Their resilience, their strength, and their enduring contributions to Brazilian culture deserve to be celebrated. By sharing these stories, we honor the memory of those who suffered and perished at Valongo, and we reaffirm our commitment to creating a world where such atrocities are never repeated. Valongo Wharf, once buried and forgotten, now stands as a beacon of memory and a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. It is a site of conscience, a place for reflection, and a call to action. Its legacy is one of pain and resilience, of suffering and hope, of darkness and light. It reminds us that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, the human spirit can endure, and that even the most deeply buried truths have a way of rising to the surface. The stones of Valongo whisper their stories, not just of the past, but of the present and the future. They remind us that we are all connected, across time and across continents, and that the fight for justice and equality is an ongoing struggle. As we look to the future, let us carry the lessons of Valongo with us, striving to create a world where all people are treated with dignity, respect, and equality. A world where the horrors of slavery are relegated to the history books, and where the whispers of Valongo serve as a reminder of our shared humanity and our collective responsibility to create a more just and equitable world.